Eddie Hearn kind of adds some validity to the reports from IFL TV that Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson have a deal in place and agreed to fight on November 23rd. And also, Eddie Hearn vindicates me and lets everybody know exactly what I said. He ain't got no goddamn fights for Shakur Stevenson, and he wants to sign Shakur Stevenson, but that it's going to be hard for him to sign Shakur Stevenson because he need to be able to deliver fights for him, and he ain't got nobody for him to fight. Let's talk about it all in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share these videos. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You know what I mean? And if you want to debate, knockoutboxing86 at yahoo.com is the email address. Or you can just hit me up while I'm live, and you can hit the link right then and there. But I tell y'all all the time, the taste age like fine wine, bro. And when people argue with me and debate me on certain topics, the body bag usually just get worse and worse and worse and worse for them, because the logic is sound, the business acumen is impeccable, and it's easy to see if you take your emotions out of the situation and you just look at what's objectively gonna make the most sense for the fighter or for the business in a certain situation. And Eddie Hearn has vindicated me and allowed and let it be known that yes, I had a great meeting with Shakur Stevenson. It was a really honest conversation, but I have to be able to deliver him fights, and he has to be able to get fights. I want to sign him because he's a great fighter, but it has to make sense. And I'm paraphrasing, but long story short, all the people that Shakur Stevenson want to fight or should want to fight, they not under Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn is going to have a tough time delivering him fights. And Eddie Hearn let it be known that he think he going to end up fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, because of Loma pulling out, Shakur's a free agent, Tank's team is looking to make a deal, and this coincides with reports from IFL TV that they think the fight is done. That they're reporting that the fight is done. And IFL been in the game a long time. As I said in the short I just shot, I can't confirm that their report is true, but the more and more that time goes on and you look at the lay of the land, it just makes more and more sense what they're reporting and what I've been saying. And I've told y'all, the main reason that Eddie Hearn doesn't make sense for Shakur Stevenson is he ain't got nobody for him to fight, bro. Shakur Stevenson's mandatory challenger, William Zepeda, he fights under Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy are not going to want Eddie Hearn to have any parts of a Shakur Stevenson-William Zepeda fight. They fight on the same network. So if you're going to be fighting on the zone anyway, and you're going to be fighting our fighter, you're going to be under our banner, bro. We're not going to do business with Eddie Hearn and cut a check with him if we don't have to. Or we can just take William Zepeda in another direction. You think of a Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson fight. If he want to fight Tank Davis, which is looking like he do, what sense does it make for him to sign to Eddie Hearn? Is Tank Davis signed to Eddie Hearn? Tank Davis don't even like Eddie Hearn. He don't even like him. He always shitting on Eddie, going at Eddie, exposing Eddie Hearn's text messages and DMs and shit. Always going at him, bro. If he want Pitbull, makes no sense to sign to Eddie Hearn. He want Ryan Garcia, makes no sense to sign to Eddie Hearn. Lomachenko, Teofimo, Barincic, Muratalla. None of these fights, there's not one of these fights that I've mentioned that Shakur Stevenson has said he wants that Eddie Hearn can deliver for him. And it's easy to see if you just know what the hell you talking about and take your feelings out of the situation. And Eddie Hearn is letting it be known that, yeah, I want to sign Shakur Stevenson. We had a great meeting, but it was an honest meeting. He's letting you know, bro, What's the point of me signing him if I can't get him fights? Translation, why the hell would I sign him if I can't make no money off of him because I can't provide no fights that people want to see? Why the hell I'ma sign him, pay him $3-4 million a fight, whatever it is, for him to fight Mark Chamberlain? Or for me to set up a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Maxie Hughes? Why would I do that to my company and to myself? That's the translation, bro. If you know how to pay attention to shit. So anyone that's arguing this matchroom shit or that Shakur should be entertaining them, you don't want to see him in big fights. It's just that simple. When you look at the lay of the land, when you look at what's going on, you got to be pushing this young man in the direction of shit. I hate to say it because how they treated him so poorly, but you got to be pushing him in the direction of Top Rank or Premier Boxing Champions or Golden Boy. That's it. That's all, bro. Them are the 3 outfits that he should be considering fucking with. If he wants the Williams to pay the fight, he gonna have to go holler at Oscar for that fight if that's the fight he want. Very simple, bro. If he wants the Tank Davis fight, guess who he talking to right now? If these reports are true, guess who he had to talk to? He had to talk to Al Heyman, PBC, Louis the Cubans, whoever's negotiating for Tank Davis. Then he gonna have to go over there. Same thing with Top Rank. He want any of them fighters, he gonna have to take that deal that Top Rank had on the table for him. It just is what it is, bro. None of these promoters are gonna give you deals as some of their best assets if you ain't fucking with them. They not gonna do it. Now you might get a big fight, but believe this: if the Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson fight happen, I bet you it'll have a rematch clause for Gervonta Tank Davis. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a one-way rematch clause. One of them, where Tank can move on if he win, but if Shakur win, he got to give Tank a rematch. Or Shakur may be able to negotiate a bilateral rematch clause where whoever loses get the chance to activate a rematch clause and they fight again. If the fight's good enough, if the fight's big enough, if it makes sense, if it's competitive, so forth and so on. Meaning, Premier Boxing Champions gonna have options on them. They're gonna have an option to do business with him again. They ain't just gonna let you come beat Tank Davis and walk out the door. Same with Top Rank. If he get a Loma fight, if he wound up getting a Loma fight, guess what? He ain't gonna be on no one fight deal over there. Loma gonna have a rematch clause, or he gonna have a rematch clause, or he gonna be signed up for multiple fights. It's just what the fuck's gonna happen, bro. It's just what the fuck's gonna happen. The only other option is the fight is mandatory, and Williams will pay them, and either fuck with Oscar or risk that shit going to purse bid, dog. And if it go to purse bid, Marv Nation could win that bitch, Triller could win that hoe, Oscar De La Hoya could win that hoe anyway for less money than what you could probably get just negotiating a fight with them. Other promoters that ain't signed to you long term or that you ain't fucking with long term, they ain't gonna risk putting up money for the fight, for a one fight deal for you and Zepeda. Premier Boxing Champions and Top Rank ain't gonna bid on that fight, and if they do, it's gonna be real fucking low. So you run the risk of letting the world see that your market value ain't really what that is. If motherfuckers get to bidding on that shit and the bid is low, why would you do that? That's the dumbest shit he could do. Dumb as hell. What that young man should be doing is saying, sorry, Eddie, you ain't got nobody for me. And then pursue what you truly want, and that way we'll know what you want. If you pursue the Zepeda fight, then we'll know you wasn't really talking about shit with Tank Davis and Lomachenko. If you pursue the Top Rank route, then we know that that's the route you wanted, and you wasn't ready for the Tank Davis fight just yet. If you're pursuing Tank and these reports are true that the fight is done, then we know that you really wanted the big fights and you went after that shit and you went and got that shit, bro. That's it, that's all. But y'all let me know what y'all think of what Eddie Hearn had to say. Eddie Hearn say he ain't got no fighters for Shakur. I don't know why I took Eddie telling y'all that shit. I've been telling y'all that shit. He ain't got no fights for him. All he can offer him is a payday and then subpar ass opponents, which ain't in the best interest of Matchroom and is not in the best interest of Shakur Stevens. because Shakur Stevenson needs big fights, big opportunities, and Matchroom ain't got none for him. And Eddie Hearn need to be able to make money off of people that he's paying millions of dollars, and it's gonna be hard for him to make money off of Shakur Stevenson if Shakur Stevenson ain't fighting the name. Cause we just seen Shakur Stevenson versus Artem, $900,000 live gate. We seen Shakur Stevenson versus Conceição and Yoshino. Them live gates barely cracked $1 million, bro. They barely cracking $1 million on their live gate. He fighting on free TV, and the man won $3 to $4 million a fight. You already losing $2 or $3 million putting on any Shakur Stevenson fight that you put on right now when he ain't fighting the name. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. Maybe y'all missed it. I'll say it again. When Shakur Stevenson is not fighting the name, he's barely doing $1 million live gate. But you're paying him $2 to $3 million. Plus you got to pay his opponent. Plus, you got to pay the other fighters on the card. You're losing money by having him fight fighters that ain't nobody asking for. You're losing money, bro. That's why Eddie Hearn is saying what he's saying. And the biggest thing is, he's saying he's going to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, in his opinion. Why would he say that? Eddie Hearn knows some shit behind the scenes, bro. Eddie Hearn wouldn't just be saying this shit if he wasn't hearing shit, bro. He's one of the biggest promoters in boxing. And so we got one outlet reporting that Tank and Shakur is done, and Eddie Hearn himself, Matchroom, saying he think Tank and Shakur gonna be fighting next because everything is just lining up for that shit. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I do this shit. That's okay, though. That's okay. Y'all will give me my credit one day. But y'all let me know what y'all think of what Eddie Hearn had to say. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. I see y'all soon. Peace.